Hey guys, congratulations seniors. Here's me and Chubbs are here to congratulate you on all your accomplishments and wish you the best of luck in the future. Chubbs is in his fancy tuxedo here just for you, right, Chubbs? Yeah. He Are you awake? Anyway, congratulations. So I just wanted to make sure that I gave you some words of wisdom as you continue on to bigger and better things and on to your next adventure in life, because there are bigger and better things awaiting each and every one of you, regardless of your path. And that's the first thing. Keep in mind, no one's journey looks the same. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, your best friend. Your journey is not going to be the same as theirs. And there is no timeline for success, okay? So don't let anyone pressure you into doing things that make you uncomfortable because you're supposed to be doing these things by a certain age. Um, that's an old, outdated idea. Your life is your own. You should be enjoying every minute. You should be unique, be who you are, because that is what is going to get you far. And people are going to love that about you. And that is what the genuineness and your uniqueness is what will bring people to you. So always be true to who you are, and the people who matter will come to that. Okay. Um, if we've learned nothing from this time that we've had at home, we should have learned, hopefully, to cherish every moment, big and small, to make sure that we're taking time for ourselves, to make sure that we're reaching out to the people that we care about and staying in touch always. Okay, there's always time. You can make time to make a phone call, stop in and say hello, whatever the case may be. So there's always time for those sorts of things. Um, don't let anyone change your mind about your goals or your dreams. Those are, again, yours alone. And no one can tell you that you can't do that or it's not going to happen or any kind of discouragement. So go out and be the most badass person that you can be. And that's my next point, to always remember to be a badass, right? So make sure that you are strong and resolute, that you have opinions, that your opinions are backed up, that you can, show that you know what you're talking about. You should have strong opinions, but you should always be able to back up your opinions. But that doesn't mean that you can't listen to and understand where other people are coming from. We have such problems with that in this country. And I think if we took just a little bit of time to listen to each other and to understand where we're coming from, not necessarily change our own minds or our own views, but at least understand that there are other ways of looking at things, and that maybe um, we're not 100% right or they're not 100% right, and we can meet somewhere in the middle. But unfortunately, we have issues with that in this country, as we have seen um, recently. Make your mark. Okay, you're never too old. Like I said, the timelines are silly, and make sure that you are remaining true to your goals. It's never too late to make a change. It's never too late to have a new goal, to set your expectations high. I still talk about what I want to be when I grow up. Being a motivational speaker or traveling to different schools and talking about being a badass and making sure that you're making healthy choices and all these things. Speaking of that, at the beginning of this semester, I know I mentioned my desire to launch my Habitual Badass personal training business. That happened during this quarantine. As if you can remember, we had a student that created my logo for me. So that did happen. And it's been quite the success already. I have 10 clients, which is crazy. And you can check me out on Instagram at habitual_badass. I'm also on Facebook, and my website is www.habitualbadass.com. So check me out on all of those places. I've been having a great time. So that's my new side hustle. I officially taught my last CCBC class this semester. I want to be done with that to focus on my personal training on the side. So hopefully that's all going to take off, and maybe someday you'll see me on the cover of a magazine somewhere being awesome. You just never know. Um, I also want you to know that while things have not turned out the way that you may have planned when you go into school and you're in school for 12 years, this may not be the way that you planned on finishing things up. But there's a couple things you need to know. Number one, you're never going to be forgotten. The class of 2020 is never going to be forgotten. You are going to have quite the stories to share for the rest of your life. And people are going to be talking about this throughout history and in the future, of course, looking back. And I also want you to know that while we are planning to do a graduation ceremony traditionally to make sure that we can all get together and be together and that you can hug your friends and shake Dr. Rogers' hands and give me a high five and all those things that we want to do, not walking across the stage one at a time with a mask on, not being able to touch anyone, having to stay in a car with your family. We don't want to do those things. We want to be able to celebrate you appropriately. So what I want to say to you is, while walking across the stage is symbolic to finishing this stage of your life, know that not having that traditional portion of that at this moment does not take away in any way, shape, or form the hard work that you have put in to getting to this moment and your achievements and what you're going to continue to achieve. Okay? None of that has been negated or forgotten. And you'll see that, of course, in our virtual ceremony as we celebrate you that way until we can all be together to celebrate appropriately. So please keep that in mind, that the pomp and circumstance and sitting there in your cap and gown, while all of that is something you may have been looking forward to, that not happening right now does not take away the hard work that you've done. And we all recognize that, especially in these circumstances that we weren't expecting to happen. So congratulations again to each and every one of you. I want you also to remember, as much as it's important to be a badass, the other end of that is balance. So while you should be true to yourself and have your opinions and make your mark in this world, you also need to do that with a kind heart. So always remember to be kind to others. The saying of you never know what somebody else is going through in their situation is very, very true. So you always want to approach things with an open mind, with a kind heart, and to do the best you can. But there does have to be balance because you don't want to be walked on, right? You don't want to be taken advantage of. So you kind of have to tread those things lightly, but I think it's important to always go into situations assuming that people have good intentions and have the same heart as you. And then if they prove you wrong, then shame on them, and they'll never, be treated in that way by you again. So always approach things in that way. Always work hard. It doesn't matter if you are working as a dog walker and house sitter for the summer, or if you're working for a $1 million, billion-dollar corporation. You need to put the same rigor into your work no matter what that work is, because your work ethic is the one thing that will follow you through everything. So I think I said at the beginning of this semester, you don't always necessarily have to be the smartest person in the room. If you are the hardest working, the most badass, and the kindest person in the room, you are going to win every time. Every time. So there's nothing wrong with being the smartest person in the room as well. But remaining humble and remembering where you came from and how far you've come, and that everyone is in a different place in their journey through this thing we called life, then that will get you much, much further. So I just wanted to leave you with some of those thoughts, because as you are our young leaders going out into this crazy world to try to make the best of things, there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm looking forward to see each of you make your mark. I do hope you all keep in touch. Remember Lincoln Park. Keep in mind, we do have those 2 alternate graduation dates. We are planning for a redemption prom as well. Right now, it's looking like the day before prom 2021. We'll get the rides and everything a day early, kind of do like almost like a casual redemption prom. Everyone should be back from college. That'll be crazy. You'll have 1 year of college under your belt. And remember, I almost forgot this. Be adaptable. So if you have learned nothing from this situation, it's important to be able to adapt to whatever's thrown at you, right? Because if you shut down, if you are like, this is dumb, and you try not to do it, that's not going to get you anywhere, because the person who is being adaptable is now passing you up by leaps and bounds. So always be adaptable to new situations. Try not to get so caught up in, no, we have to do it this way. Those are important. Rules are important, but sometimes we have to remember to be adaptable as well. So, class of 2020, I am sad that our time in class together was cut short, but I thank you for everything that you have taught me along the way. I thank you for you continuing to work hard during this time of distance learning. And like I said, I look forward to you doing great things in this world, and I do hope you will stay in touch, okay? With that, one more comment. If you are still working on turning things in, please make sure you do that as soon as possible. We are working on getting the grades situated and things of that nature for our last day of school, which is next Friday. So the juniors who are listening in, this is good information for you as well. You are right on the cusp of this, and while this class is finished up, you will still have to continue to mark your attendance next week as well. But seniors, after today, you are done with that. So please reach out if you have any final comments or questions about anything. If you have any concerns about your grades, kind of late for that, but reach out anyhow. And also, you should have been or will be getting in touch with your advisor one last time. Basically, we need to know if you're taking your letter grade or if you're taking a pass-fail. A pass-fail is only helpful if the grade in the class is lower than your current GPA. So other than that, you want to take your letter grades. And if it's a CCBC course, you kind of have to take the letter grade. So keep that in mind. If you're one of my advisees and I don't hear from you, I'm going to be contacting you today. If I don't hear back by Monday, I'm going to assume you want the letter grade, and we'll just go from there. So remember, it's time for you to get ready and make moves and be accountable for your actions and take responsibility. And so that starts now. Don't delay. It should have started already. For a lot of you, it has. And those are qualities that will take you far in this life. So I will see you soon. Take care. Keep being awesome and rock on. Have good mosh pitting. And I'll be in touch. Peace out, class of 2020.